Court, weekdays at 4 p.m. WOAY TV, Oak Hill, Beckley, Bluefield.
Live from the WOAY TV studios, this is Newswatch at noon.
Coming up on Newswatch at noon, a former coal executive is testifying in the criminal trial for his old boss, Don Blankenship. Plus, a state political leader will tour Fayette County schools.
Below average temperatures are being felt all across the viewing area, but the plus is the sun is shining. Good Friday afternoon, and thank goodness it's Friday. I'm meteorologist Tim Springer. It is 56 degrees outside your door in downtown Beckley, and the dew point has been continuing to drop off. Only 1 degree shy of the freezing mark, so we are starting to dry out as higher pressure is building in. Now, cold weather, frost and freeze watches have been issued for the entirety of the state, really. We're going to have frost advisories expire at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and freeze watches go back into effect and expire on Sunday morning at 9. I'll tell you what will warm things right back up coming up soon. David?
All right, thanks, Tim, and good afternoon, and welcome to Newswatch at noon. I'm David Miller. Leading our news this hour, a Mercer County man is in jail on child solicitation charges as Sean Marcano was arrested by Detective Sergeant Stephen Sommers of the State Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. And during the investigation, Sean Marcano had been in contact with a person that he believed to be a 15-year-old girl. According to the Mercer County Sheriff's Department, he described sexual acts he wished to perform with that girl. The department says Marcano attempted to meet the fake girl in Princeton and was taken into custody when he showed up. Marcano is being held in Southern Regional Jail until a bond is set. Well, police say a house fire in Fayette County that started earlier this week is suspicious, as officials say the fire occurred at 25 Tank Hill Road on Tuesday afternoon. And upon arrival to the scene, officials were able to quickly extinguish that fire. And according to a news release, fire officials immediately suspected arson, and after the initial investigation, officials found that although no one was at home at the time during the incident, the homeowner reported several items, including a stove and a refrigerator, had been stolen prior to that fire. Anyone with information concerning this fire is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 304-255-STOP. A former coal executive who was dealt a prison sentence for mine violations is testifying in the criminal trial for his old boss and the ex-Massey Energy CEO, Don Blankenship. In Charleston Federal Court on Thursday, former Massey executive David Ugart began testifying as part of a plea deal. In 2013, Ugart was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for conspiring in an illegal scheme to warn miners and other subsidiaries of surprise safety inspections. Ugart said he will be released on December 12th. And Ugart implicated Blankenship in the conspiracy during his plea hearing. And Blankenship is charged with conspiring to break mine safety laws and lying to financial regulators about safety practices at the Upper Big Branch mine in West Virginia, which did explode in 2010, killing 29 men. A state political leader will tour Fayette County schools as Senate Minority Leader and Democratic Governor candidate Jeff Kessler will visit the county after he said that continued cuts to the education system are hurting kids in our state. He made the comments days before additional cuts to school funding were announced, and Kessler says it doesn't make sense to cut funding when schools are overcrowded in parts of the state and in disrepair in others. Well, Kessler will tour 8 Fayette County schools on Tuesday, October 20th, and he'll be joined by Superintendent Terry George and also State Senator Bill Laird. More bad news for employment in West Virginia. Seasonally adjusted unemployment rates dipped in September as Workforce West Virginia says the rate fell 0.3 of a percentage point to 7.3% last month. The number of unemployed state residents dropped by 2,000 last month to 57,800. And on the positive side, employment did rise by more than 1,500 in the service providing sector, including 3,300 in government and 300 in financial services. Declines include 700 in educational and health services and 600 in hospitality services. On a national level, the unemployment did remain at 5.1% for September. Local business owners and politicians made their way to the Tamarack for the final day of the 2015 Economic Summit as the New River Gorge Regional Economic Summit shared economic forecasts and reports on regional progress after a tough year for the Mountain State. And John Deskins, the director of the WVU Bureau of Business and Economic Research, says the shifting landscape of the energy industry and other changes to the region have made discussions like the one at the summit more pressing.
Making our state attractive to potential business. If we have fewer potential workers, businesses are going to be less likely to locate here. So again, that's more reason that we should have a sense of urgency to turn the state around in a positive direction.
The next regional economic outlook events will be held in Martinsburg on November 3rd, and you can also catch one in Morgantown on November 16th. And if you'd like to register, you can visit www.b.wvu.edu/BBER. Well, now the race for president, lots of action on the campaign trail as Donald Trump and Ben Carson threaten to boycott the next debate. Hillary Clinton is confident enough to talk running mates, while Joe Biden keeps the country guessing about his plans. ABC's Tom Lamas is tracking it all.
This morning, a Republican revolt over the next debate.
Now they want to make this an extra hour.
Both Donald Trump and Dr. Ben Carson threatening not to show up if host CNBC tries to change the format, making the debate longer. The two leading GOP candidates writing in a joint letter to CNBC they do not and will not agree to appear at a debate that is more than 120 minutes long, including commercial breaks. Also demanding the debate include opening and closing statements from all the candidates.
I think it's unfair to the viewers because it's too much to watch, and they're doing it because they want to make more money.
But not all the candidates are complaining. Carly Fiorina telling Trump and Carson to stop whining.
I think we need to spend as much time as possible answering the American people's questions. So I'm all for 3 hours. I'm sorry that they apparently don't have the endurance to go the distance.
In a statement to ABC News, CNBC saying, "We will certainly take the candidates' views on the format into consideration as we finalize the debate structure." As for the Democrats, Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro endorsing Hillary Clinton Thursday, sparking questions if she would consider him as a running mate.
I am going to really look hard at him for anything because that's how good he is, and he deserves the accolades he's receiving.
This as current Vice President Joe Biden continues dodging questions about whether he'll run. Sources tell ABC News he is close to making a decision.
Do Democrats deserve your decision, Mr. Vice President?
Well, now to a major arrest in the war against ISIS as a hacker stole the personal information of more than 1,000 military personnel and passed it on to the brutal terror group. In custody this morning, and ABC's Pierre Thomas has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Prosecutors claim Ardet Farizi of Kosovo hacked into the files of an American retailer, stealing sensitive personal information about more than 1,000 federal employees and members of the U.S. military. He then allegedly passed the stolen information to Jannat Hussein, a British radical who U.S. officials say was the mastermind behind an ISIS social media campaign with deadly intentions.
An ISIL operative named Jannat Hussein was recruiting Western targets for lone wolf attacks.
Hussein's Islamic State hacking division created a kill list, posting the names of those military personnel and federal employees online, accompanied by this threat. We're passing on your personal information to the soldiers, who soon will strike at your necks in your own lands. The FBI director said the goal was to inspire lone wolves inside the U.S. to attack here at home.
Kill where you are. Kill anyone. But especially if you could kill people in military uniform or law enforcement uniform and video it, that would be best of all.
Hussein was considered so dangerous, he became a top target for U.S. intelligence. He was killed in Syria in August by a U.S. airstrike.
And still to come on Newswatch at noon, a homecoming tradition has made its way back to Midland Trail. Plus, we take a look at the MLB playoffs with a chance to play for the World Series title.
Skies are beginning to clear as high pressure is taking over. It's also going to bring us our chilly temperatures for the weekend. I'll tell you how cold we'll get coming up right after the break.
Keep your family warm this winter with a stove from A&D Chimney Stoves and Pools. Visit our showroom for the widest selection of America's most popular brands of gas, wood, and pellet stoves and fireplace inserts. A&D Chimney Stoves and Pools, keeping families warm since 1989.
Looking for quality furniture? Then go to Cedar Grove Furniture during their store-wide clearance sale going on now. If you never shop Cedar Grove Furniture, now is the time. Name brands like Broyhill, Bernhardt, Kincaid, Ohio Amish, and Hooker. All discount prices and over $2 million in inventory for immediate delivery. 1 year, no interest. Cedar Grove Furniture is open 7 days a week. Come in today and order for the holidays. Cedar Grove Furniture. It's worth the drive. From Beckley, take I-77 North to exit 85 and follow the signs.
The agent told us we'd be more comfortable somewhere else. We filed a complaint with HUD. Now we're living in the home of our choice.
Suspect you've been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, familial status, or disability? Report it. Fair housing is your right. Use it.
Newswatch Weather is brought to you by Window World of Beckley. Simply the best for less.
Temperatures in the 50s are being felt across the viewing area, which is about 10 degrees below normal than what we should be feeling for this time in October. But the plus is the sun is shining. Thank goodness it's Friday. I'm meteorologist Tim Springer, and we are at 56 degrees outside your door in downtown Beckley under the sunny skies. But check out that dew point, 33 degrees. It has been steadily falling throughout the morning due to high pressure building in and really drying out our atmosphere. But the northwest wind at 8 miles an hour is really clipping along and making things feel even chillier outside. And now on to the cold that I have been talking about all week. Frost advisories and freeze watches are in effect for the rest of the weekend here. The frost advisory will go in effect tonight and expire at 9 a.m. tomorrow, just in time for Bridge Day. The freeze watch will go in effect tomorrow night and will last till 9 a.m. once again for our Sunday. So very chilly air will be in place for the weekend. Current temperatures around the viewing area here, 62 degrees there in Pineville and almost cracking that 60-degree mark in Charleston. All in all, much below normal for the mid of October. The radar and satellite picture is showing those showers and clouds moving out as high pressure really is continuing to dominate our region and will continue right through the rest of the weekend, giving us our sunny skies. But the trade-off, all the chilly temperatures, and here it is, the high pressure, Canadian high pressure with that really giving us the cool air right out of Canada is building in. And the cold front that really is going to chill things right down is continuing to move off towards the coast. And those two low pressure centers up north of here are going to kind of scoot across north of the Great Lakes and give the Northeast their first shot at accumulating snow. Places like Vermont and Massachusetts, New Hampshire will get in on some of that. It might not stick to the roads, but still, snow in October is pretty impressive. Stepping throughout the rest of our day here, we're going to see the sunshine throughout the rest of the daylight hours and then clear skies for the overnight hours. And check out that low. There it is. That's not even really the low. It's just our hour-by-hour forecast. 35 degrees there towards the early morning hours of tomorrow. So definitely bundle up, wear those scarves, mittens if you are getting up early for Bridge Day. And the County Cast is going to put all this in motion right for us and step us into the future. And here we go. Clear skies. Really nothing in the way of wet weather or cloud cover. Now, there are a few upper-level short waves that will move through, and you see a couple scattered showers, and that's actually showing some snow for places like northern Pocahontas and Webster County. So, you know, Saturday morning, some spots could get a brief flurry. So, you know, just definitely don't get surprised if you do see a few snowflakes in the air tomorrow. But highs today, definitely below average, like I said, plentiful sunshine there, very crisp, 62 degrees in Mullins, really 60s across the board, 62 degrees there in Oak Hill. In the northernmost spots, a few 50s mixing in, and lows tonight, really that's the most impressive thing. We're going to see the 30s, very cool, much colder. The frost advisories will be in effect there, 35 degrees in downtown Beckley. In the southernmost spots, a little bit warmer, a few 40s mixing in down there in the southernmost regions. Hometown forecast takes us on down to Bastion in Bland County, Virginia there, high of 61, low of 36, a bit warmer, and we'll have the sunshine all throughout the rest of the day. And switching gears, Bridge Day Festival 2015 is going to be a very cold day, so bundle up, wear the scarves, the hats, the jackets, whatever keeps you warm out there. Get some hot cocoa. The plus is the sun will be shining, but the winds will be clipping along, making it feel even colder than that high of 49. Very frosty day all around. And the leaves are finally going to see some colors, and compared to what we have been seeing, really lots of green. The cool weather this week really inhibited those trees to change their colors, and it'll be great just in time for Bridge Day. It is fifth quarter forecast time of the week. Friday night football, Matt and Larry will have more details coming up tonight for News Watch at 11, but another chilly night for football. 47 the halftime temperature is, and even cooler for that game time ending, so definitely bundle up out there once again. And switching gears into the 7-day, taking a glance at that, sunshine will be with us right through the weekend, but check out those lows. There they are, 28 and 29, very cold air. The plus is we'll start to moderate temperature-wise and get back up into the 60s by Wednesday. We'll have more News Watch right after the break.
The neighborhood kids said it looked spooky. That house had fogged windows, peeling paint, and dark doors. Classic haunted house. But Window World took it from awful to awesome.
And the Window World pros brightened that home with sparkling double-hung windows.
And welcoming entry and garage doors.
And trouble-free siding.
All with top energy-efficient rating. Window World does it again.
So call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW for Window World of Beckley.
Simply the best for less. Window World of Beckley.
We recently had a trucking case where the initial insurance that was disclosed to us certainly wasn't sufficient to cover the child's injuries. They told us there was limited insurance coverage. We found 10 times that amount of coverage.
Oh, Robert really rolled up his sleeves on that one. We don't just dabble in trucking cases. That's a major part of our practice. If you're going to take those kind of cases, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to know the rules and regulations and the peculiar laws that apply.
West Virginia State Parks. Memories happen here.
Let's welcome home our very own to the historic Fayette Theater October 22nd at 7 p.m. Featuring Oak Hill native Charlie McCoy, 2009 Country Music Hall of Fame inductee, winner of 2 CMA Awards and 7 ACM Awards, member International Musicians Hall of Fame and the West Virginia Hall of Fame, and Boomer West Virginia's John Ellison, composer of the most recorded song in music history, Some Kinda Wonderful. And on October 24th, will be inducted into the West Virginia Hall of Fame. For more information, visit www.historicfayettetheater.com.
And welcome back to Newswatch at noon. A Fayetteville group is honoring infant children who have lost their lives as more than 150 candles were lit to remember infant and prenatal children from across the state. Each candle reflects a lost infant's life and burns for an hour, creating a symbolic wave of light around the world. The candlelight vigil was part of the 4th annual New River Wave of Light. And October 15th is also recognized as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day. Coordinator Tabitha Bailey lost her own son 2 years ago, and she says getting together with those who have also lost their children helps her.
Those of us with children that have been lost too soon, these are the only memories that we have with them. So these memories really mean a lot to us.
October 15th is also recognized as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Month. Well, now a homecoming tradition has made its way back to Midland Trail as dozens gathered at Midland Trail High School as the school held its inaugural homecoming bonfire. The event followed another new addition to the school's homecoming activities, a parade through Ansted, all in anticipation of the annual Battle for the Bridge. And this is the first homecoming parade Trail has had in over 20 years. And the parade featured guests including myself and Tim Springer, representing WOAY and the school's JROTC, their band, and the homecoming courts. And of course, the homecoming king and queen will be crowned tonight at halftime of that long annual tradition at the football game between Fayetteville and Midland Trail. And head coach Frank Isaac says the new additions bring the community together in a way not seen since the early 80s, and he could not be more proud of the school and the school officials for putting this parade and tradition back in the spotlight for all the students and faculty of Midland Trail.
We started the parade, we started Tent City, we started the bonfire, and everything's geared around just gathering the community together and having a rallying point for the whole community and the school and just bring us all back together.
The community was kind of at a downfall. We were almost dead, but the changes have brought it back and we have a new life, I think.
Well, Midland Trail takes on Fayetteville High School tonight, and myself and Tim want to say thank you to all those great folks over at Trail, and Tim would agree, seeing the look of excitement on the faces of all those young students was great, and it was a great honor for us to be a part of that homecoming. Well, the Mets are headed to the NL Championship against the Cubs after that blown play by the Dodgers last night, and ABC's TJ Holmes has more.
A beer-soaked slip-and-slide celebration in the Mets locker room last night. And why not?
And he struck him out. The New York Mets have won the series.
The Mets beat the Dodgers 3-2 in L.A. in a thriller. Game 5 of the National League Division Series.
We got the wins that we needed, and
we're going to go party for a little while and take a day off and get ready for the NLCS.
The Mets got the series-clinching win thanks to Daniel Murphy having the game of his life. The second baseman had a role in each of the Mets' 3 scores.
Murphy, the wildest of Mets base runners.
Later, he smashes a solo home run to put the Mets up for good.
Has broken the tie.
Frustration for the Dodgers, the team with the highest payroll in baseball at around $300 million. TV cameras caught outfielder Andre Ethier shouting at manager Don Mattingly in the dugout. The Dodgers even turned to Chase Utley in the 9th inning to pinch hit.
We haven't seen Chase Utley since Game 2.
His first appearance in the series since his controversial slide that broke the leg of Mets shortstop Ruben Tejada. But as quickly as Utley was in, he popped out. Now, it's Mets versus Cubs in the NLCS.
Well, this weekend marks the 36th anniversary of Bridge Day, and several key components to the weekend are getting ready. As Gary Hogue with Fayette County Transportation on Schools says that they have provided transportation for the jumpers and visitors for years. Hogue says they will start bringing jumpers to the bridge from the Holiday Lodge at 7 a.m. And there are 5 pickup locations, including Kroger's, Walmart, Midland Trail High School. And Hogue does say the planning for this event has been in the works for several months.
Always is a busy day, extremely busy day, but we have real good cooperation. State Police and Sheriff's Department and emergency services here in the county provide us contacts, and we're constantly on the radio talking back and forth to make sure that we have all the areas covered and we're moving people in and out of the gorge when they need to. And safety-wise, we take every precaution we possibly can.
Hogue says locals and visitors will start being taken to the bridge at around 9 a.m. Well, that's where we're headed in this week's One Tank Trip for Bridge.
The countdown to Saturday and this year's 36th annual Bridge Day is on. So, are you ready?
We've got base jumpers, we've got rappellers, we've got into the gorge tours that will take you down underneath to the base. We've got down under tours that will do the same thing. We have almost 200 vendors.
With roughly 100,000 people from all over the world descending on Fayette County.
It's just a celebration of a really tall, long bridge. Of course, it's the second longest steel arch span bridge in the Western Hemisphere, and it's just kind of a fascination for a lot of people, especially the people like the base jumpers who are into exciting sports.
And this year, Riston says they have an outpouring of community support, from welcome bags to postcards from local school children to restaurants catering dinners.
We've just had a really great response from the community wanting to get more involved this year than other years, so it's been awesome.
And even if you aren't into jumping off an 800-foot bridge into the gorge, that's okay too, because it's a tradition.
It's really nice to get to talk to people and see people, even if it's just for 12 hours on one day, to get to come together. And this project is huge. So for everybody involved, from the staff to the law enforcement to the emergency management people, Holiday Lodge staff, it's just exciting to be able to pull it off, really.
This free event runs from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, and they ask you not to bring backpacks. There will be security, and of course, have fun, because it's all doable on a tank of gas. For Seattle Tony Tire Pros, I'm Courtney Rosemond.
And still to come on Newswatch at noon, our friends from the New River Humane Society are here for this week's Adopt a Pet.
For quality tire selection and quality service, come see the pros. See Adam Tony Tire Pros is family owned and operated for 35 years now. Your trusted tire and service experts. You'll always get competitive pricing on a wide selection of tires, like Continental in general. And our ASE certified mechanics are committed to keeping your family safe and road ready. We also offer the industry's strongest warranty package, featuring free roadside assistance, plus simple and fast financing with the Tire Pros preferred credit card. The road isn't always friendly, but the folks at C. Adam Tony Tire Pros are. Visit us in Oak Hill or Beckley today. Online at cadamtonytires.com.
Think for a moment. You don't think twice about having your eyes tested, but what about your hearing? Hi, I'm Marcia Mattingly. At Beltone, we've helped thousands of people lead richer, fuller lives by showing them that they can hear the way they should. At Beltone, a free hearing test can determine if you need hearing help. Call now. You have everything to gain. 50 years and 3 generations serving the tri-state with the most trusted name in hearing aids, Beltone.
Tune in every Friday night during the 5th quarter for all your Game of the Week highlights. The big runs, the big hits, the big plays. Game of the Week brought to you by Northside Chevrolet in Summersville.
Terrified by your old ride? Lewis Nissan here, and no fear, we want to help you escape the horrors of your old ride. Trade in today and treat yourself to a nicer, newer car for just $8 down. Haunted by your past credit mistakes, my For the People credit approval process is the potion to get you in motion. If your old car's freaking you out, trade it in and drive for 8 before it's too late. Because this deal is only good for the first 75 that we help escape from their old ride. I'm Sarah Abrams, your dealer For the People.
You're under the same roof, but it might seem like you're miles apart. The Boys Town National Hotline can help. Call 800-448-3000 or visit parenting.org. Make the most of your time with your teen.
Adopt a Pet is brought to you by Fayette County National Bank.
And welcome back to this week's Adopt a Pet. We're here with Beth from the New River Humane Society. Beth, we have a great looking boxer mix, right?
Yeah, so this is Celeste. She is a 12-week-old boxer mix. She is obviously super cute and super sweet. She would make a great family pet. I think she'd do really great with kids and somebody to like play with her and, you know, be a little active with her. If you're interested in Celeste, you can call the shelter at 304-574-3682.
So we know it's Bridge Day tomorrow, and that's going to be pretty intense. Do you have anything with that involved, or any other events, you know, where you can drop off any supplies or anything?
Yeah, we won't physically be at Bridge Day tomorrow, but we will have a donation jar at Dirty Ernie's Rib Pit at the register, and they'll be accepting donations all day tomorrow for vet bills and things like that for our shelter animals. And then also we'll be at Tractor Supply in Oak Hill with an adoption event from 11 to 4, and like I said, that's in Oak Hill, and we'll have lots of, you know, puppies and kitties there as well.
So you'll be at Tractor Supply tomorrow from 11 to 4, right?
Yes.
In Oak Hill, and you're taking monetary donations, but you're always accepting, you know, blankets, food, etc. throughout the community, right?
Right, and right now we're desperately in need of puppy food, kitten food, and kitty litter. And then we also need things like straw right now because the weather's getting cooler, and we have some of the dogs on the outer cages. We do need 6 extra dog houses for those dogs, so if anybody has like an old dog house that would fit into the cage, we would love to have that for the 6 that don't have a dog house right now.
All right, well guys, when we come back, we'll take a final look at the weather, and we'll take one more look at this little girl right here.
A bank that doesn't waste my time.
Security and convenience. I guess those would be the biggest things.
Lower some of the service fees. Those can be pretty frightening sometimes.
Longer hours. I want a bank that meets my needs, not one that forces me to meet their needs.
What if banking was simple? See for yourself at Fayette County National Bank, serving Fayette County and surrounding areas yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
The neighborhood kid said it looked spooky. That house had fogged windows, peeling paint, and dark doors. Classic haunted house. But Window World took it from awful to awesome.
And the Window World pros brightened that home with sparkling double-hung windows.
And welcoming entry and garage doors.
And trouble-free siding.
All with top energy-efficient rating. Window World does it again.
So call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW for Window World of Beckley.
Simply the best for less. Window World of Beckley.
It's Truck Month at Mountaineer Automotive, and we're giving you a year's worth of oil changes and tire rotations with any new Ford or Lincoln.
Like this 2015 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 $32,475, or this 2015 Ford F-250 for only $37,595.
In honor of breast cancer awareness, we'll make a contribution to the cause for every vehicle sold from any of our lots this month. Plus, take a test drive so you can help support the cause. At Mountaineer Automotive, where taking care of you is what we do.
For more than 25 years, Scott Siegel has played a leading role in the development and trial of mesothelioma cancer cases in West Virginia. That's a quarter-century of experience in interviewing factory workers and the cross-examination of scientists working for the asbestos companies. Scott Siegel has protected individuals from companies that put profits ahead of safety. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the Siegel Law Firm at 855-344-9100.
Matt, what are you wearing? I know you're excited for the fifth quarter brought to you by Wendy's of Southern West Virginia. But this is a bit much. You've got a helmet and a jersey on, Matt. I know you're excited for the Fan Cam Fan of the Week brought to you by Wendy's, and I know you're excited for Northside Chevrolet Game of the Week. Why do you have another helmet?
Because it's never too much when you talk about football in West Virginia. Besides, happy football season, Larry. Here's my gift. I made it for you. It's for you, yeah.
Wendy's of Southern West Virginia presents the fifth quarter, Fridays at 11 on WOAY TV.
The cold weather I've been talking about all week is finally here to stay, but the plus, sunshine will be right with us. Lows in the 20s, but if you like warm weather, you will like Monday and Tuesday because we will be warming right back up into the 60s there, so be nice.
All right, Beth, why don't you tell us where that donation jar is again for Bridge Day?
Bridge Day, we'll have a donation jar at Dirty Ernie's Rib Pit all day. If you want to come and bring monetary donations, it'll help out medical bills for the shelter animals.
All right, guys, that does it for Newswatch. We'll see you again at 5, and have a great day.